All right, ready to roll? Okay, let's do it. Okay, hey, it's Mr. Crandall. Welcome back to Jet Talk number 2. We hope you've been rolling. Everybody, we're super proud of you for getting to Jet Time, being where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it. We're really proud of you. It takes a lot of guts, and we honor you for jumping in and doing those things that you're supposed to do. So keep up the great work. Keep going to those places. Just a quick review over what we talked about last week. That stuff that we talked about with the equation, E plus R equals O. The event plus the response equals the outcome. Remember, you control the controllables. Your attitude, your effort, how you treat others, and being unconditionally grateful. And when you focus on those things, it helps you block out the noise. It helps you to not get as distracted by the stuff you can't control. Because it's really easy to get sucked into those things. So review them, remember them, and practice them. Control your attitude, your effort, how you treat others, and be unconditionally grateful. Make sure you spend some time thinking about the things that are important to you, that you're really thankful for and grateful for. So if you do that, you're off to a great start. But what we're going to get into today is probably your most powerful weapon that you have at your disposal. And we're going to jump into the topic of mindset. Now, while we're doing this, you might see some stuff pop up somewhere around here, somewhere on the screen, just to help remind you. We hope that you're taking notes while you do this, because the notes will be there for you to go back to review, and they can help guide you as you review some of the things that we talk about. Today, we're going to be doing some takeoff questions. And as you hear these questions, use them as writing prompts. Use them as something to get your mind going and start thinking about important things. And today's topic, all about your mindset. So those takeoff questions will dig into your mindset and help you explore that a little bit. We'll also be focusing on a skill that I want you to practice. And that skill that I want you to practice is simply awareness. You never really think of being aware as a skill, but it takes practice and it takes effort to get good at it. Being aware of why you're doing things. What are your motivations for doing something? Why are you avoiding something? Being aware of what's going on in your own mind. Why are you feeling the way that you're feeling? And asking those questions and exploring that. That's a skill, and the challenge is for you to practice it. So the takeoff questions that we get into that you're going to see today, they're designed to help increase your awareness and help you to explore some things that'll help you use that powerful tool of your mindset. So let's jump over to takeoff question number 1. And takeoff question number 1 invites you to ask, what are the beliefs that I have about myself, about others, and about the world? Now that can be a really challenging question, and sometimes it's a little weird to jump in and think, well, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about other people? What do I believe about the world? But when you dig into those things, you start to understand a little bit about why you take some of the actions and why you behave the way that you do. And it can be really challenging. When you start to explore what you believe about yourself, that can be a scary place sometimes, because sometimes you don't believe the best things about yourself. But that's the challenge, to identify those things that you believe about yourself that aren't helping you out, that aren't benefiting you and aren't helping you be the best that you could be. And the best thing to do is explore that question. What do I believe about myself? Do I believe that I'm somebody that's worthy of success? Do I believe that I'm somebody that works hard? Or do I believe that I'm a screw up? Do I believe that I'm a klutz? Do I believe that I'm somebody that's not worthy of success? Because the beliefs you have translate into actions. And so you have to be super aware of what you believe, and doing and answering this question will help you to dig into that a little bit. And really why I wanted to ask that question is it gets at something in psychology that we know as confirmation bias. And this is something that's been studied out over years. But what confirmation bias means is that we look for things in the world and our world that confirm what we believe. And so if I believe that I'm a klutz, I basically am inviting my brain to start looking for things that prove to me that I'm a klutz. So if I trip over something or I drop something, I go to, oh, I'm such a klutz. And I use that as confirmation of what I believe to be true. And that's why exploring your beliefs is such an important thing, because you will always be looking for things to confirm what you believe. And if you believe that you're not a smart person, if you believe that you're not good at something, you're actually giving your brain permission to start looking for things to confirm that. And so if you can manage to get your beliefs to where they're more beneficial, if I believe that I'm a good person, I actually start looking for things that confirm that I'm a good person. And I can use confirmation bias to help me build myself up. So be aware of that. Ask yourself that question and don't be afraid to explore it a little bit. Okay, let's jump on to question number 2 now. Question number 2 is, what do I believe about improvement and how I get better at things? This is a hugely important question for you to ask as you're coming into the start of a new school year. What do you believe about improvement? How do you believe that you get better at something? Because if you believe that one failure means you're done, you're in a lot of trouble. Because improvement happens, and there are just stacks of research that show improvement happens as we fail and as we experience coming up short and making mistakes, and our minds learn from those mistakes unless we avoid them, unless we be ashamed of them and hide from them. But when we learn to use those mistakes, we can actually use mistakes and use shortcomings and weaknesses to grow into a better person, to grow into the person that we ultimately want to be. And so what we have to do is explore our beliefs. How do we get better at things? And if you can get yourself to embrace the idea of, hey, just because I failed doesn't make me a failure, it just means I learned from that experience. I learned something, and now I can use it to be better the next time. But that comes down to your beliefs and what you believe about failure, what you believe about improvement, and what you believe about how improvement actually happens. Most of you would probably answer the question by saying, hey, I know that if I practice, I get better at things. But do your actions support that? Do you really believe that? And do you go out and practice? Because practice means I make mistakes. But most of us in our lives work really hard to avoid making mistakes. We want so bad to look like we've got it all together, to feel like and act like we're perfect. It causes some problems. One thing that's really important to remember, and it's a great belief to have in this category, everything is trainable. You can train yourself to be more aware. You can train yourself to overcome things. Everything is trainable, and if that's your belief, you're going to keep working on something. Because even if you try something, like if you're a skater and you go out and you skate and you're perfect every time, you don't exist, because that doesn't happen. You fail, you try, you fail, and then you get it and it feels amazing. Because everything is trainable. Those tricks that you try to learn how to do, you have to practice, you have to work at it, you have to think about it, you analyze it, and you keep working on it over and over until you get it. And every skill is like that. Every skill that you want to develop in your life is a trainable skill. It just takes your effort and the belief that you can improve and get better at that skill. So the third question that I want you to dig into, take off question number 3, what do my actions say about my beliefs? And this is a challenging question to dig into too, because we have to look at our actions and we have to look at our beliefs and we have to figure out if they match up. So there's this human drive that we have called congruence, where we want our beliefs and our actions to match up. And our brains work really hard to try to make that internal world match up with our external world. We try to get our beliefs and our actions to match up. And so what we usually will do is we'll usually shift our attitudes to match up with the way that we're acting. But one of the more powerful things you can do to change your attitude is actually change the way you act. If you want to be more confident, it actually helps you out to have an attitude of confidence. Not cockiness, but confidence, where you believe that you're good. You believe that you're good at something. And when you believe that you're good at something, it changes the way that you act. But if you act like you believe that you're good at something, it can actually change your attitude about your confidence. And so just being aware of that, but make sure you pay attention to this idea that your actions and your beliefs are always trying to match up. So if you want to go to class more often, okay, what are the beliefs behind that? Do you believe that you're a good student? Do you believe that you can learn if you go? Because if you don't, it's going to be really easy for you to avoid class. But if you believe that you are a good student, you're probably going to have your actions match up with that and start going to class more and being where you're supposed to be. But it's those beliefs that underlie it that are really important for you to explore. But one way to learn about those beliefs is to ask the question, okay, what do my actions say about my beliefs? And as you dig into those things, it's really going to help you out to become more of the person that you want to be. So these takeoff questions, what are the beliefs that I have about myself, about others, and about the world? What do I believe about improvement and how I get better at things? And then what do my actions say about my beliefs? Those questions should be really good at helping you jump into that. And you don't have to share those answers with anybody. If you want to, talk to your Jet Time teacher about it. Okay? That's what they're there to do. Peel into those things. Maybe talk to some of your friends about it, your more trusted friends, because exploring your beliefs is one of the first steps towards harnessing the power of your mindset. Remember, that's what this session's all about, is harnessing the power of your mindset. And the mindset is, what do you believe? So don't be scared to ask the question, what do I believe about these things? And as you answer that, don't be scared to start making it better. You can change your beliefs about things. If you believe the world is a good place, you're going to find good in the world. If you believe that other people are friendly and kind, you're going to find friendly and kind people. And if you believe you're a wonderful and amazing person, you're going to be more of that wonderful and amazing person that you already are. I believe in you. The question is, do you believe in you? And we feel that way here at Cedar Valley as your faculty. We believe in you guys, and we want to see you get to that point where you are being the best person that you can be. But the question we all want to hear from you is, do you believe in you? And if you can do that and harness the power of your mindset, you're going to turn yourself loose and you're going to crush it. We look forward to working with you. Thank you so much. We love you. We believe in you, and we're very proud of you. Have a great week, Aviators.